Last week, the House voted 299 to 202 to hold Steve Bannon in contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena from the January 6th Select Committee. You voted against it. Why?
Well, I think the whole January 6th Commission, as structured by Nancy Pelosi, isn't focused on finding facts. It's really, as has been the case since 2017, a partisan witch hunt focused on anti-Trump narratives. I don't think they're seeking the truth, and that's why Republicans aren't participating in the commission. And the whole effort with Bannon is just a continuation of that. If you really wanted to understand what happened, you would make a lot of things public. They won't even share the video with members of Congress, these hours of footage, 15,000 hours of footage with members of Congress. In a classified setting, and they've had to have court orders to even share it with defendants, who they still hold in detention facilities. So I don't think it's designed to seek the truth, and so I didn't want to participate in any part of that commission's work.
I want to have you listen to Benny Thompson, who's the chair of this January 6th Select Committee. He was on CBS Face the Nation over the weekend, and he said there's no question it was a premeditated attack.
Podcast from the day before that riot.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's going to be moving, it's going to be quick, and all I can say is strap in. The war room, a posse. You have made this happen, and tomorrow it's game day.
How premeditated was this attack?
Well, there's no question. Clearly, the direction of the committee is to look at that premeditation to make sure that we identify it. But the worst kept secret in America is that Donald Trump invited individuals to come to Washington on January 6th. He said all hell would break loose. Steve Bannon was part of the conversation and the promotion of January 6th. The very podcast we just listened to talks about it. Yeah. Steve Bannon was in the war room, and he was in the Willard Hotel doing a lot of things. So that's why we subpoenaed him. That's why we felt it was important for the committee and staff to depose him. But as you saw, he refused to participate.
Congressman, your reaction to what you heard in that podcast and from the chair?
Yeah, Benny Thompson already knew his decision about this commission before he was appointed chairman of it. He had sued, he had joined a lawsuit to sue Donald Trump personally for his responsibility in the January 6th attack that led to people entering the Capitol. So he already knew his conclusion. He doesn't need to do an investigation. He didn't need any facts. He already knew what he believed ahead of the commission. So, and then when you point out things that he shared, like, well, these people planned January 6th. Well, they planned a rally where the president spoke to people. Lots of people came there. Tons of people from my district came out here. They came with, husbands, wives, and their kids came out just like normal Trump rallies. There was massive crowd. They supported the event, and they also condemn the people that actually attacked others and violated the law and entered the Capitol. I don't think anyone has a problem saying this was wrong, what happened at the actual Capitol. The trouble is that Benny and others conflate the peaceful rally that took place down on the mall with the actions of some people who crossed the line and entered the Capitol.
Congressman, Rolling Stone has an exclusive this morning. Their headline, January 6th protest organizers say they participated in dozens of planning meetings with members of Congress and White House staff. From their reporting that, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene, they had planning meetings with Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona, Lauren Boebert of Colorado, Mo Brooks of Alabama, Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina, Andy Biggs, the Freedom Caucus chair of Arizona, and Representative Louis Gohmert. And they said that they would talk to staff and these members of Congress in meetings. And Gosar, who has been one of the most prominent defenders of the January 6 rioters, allegedly took things a step further. Both sources say he dangled the possibility of a blanket pardon in an unrelated ongoing investigation to encourage them to plan the protests. Our impression was that that was a done deal, the organizer says, that he'd spoken to the president about it in the Oval in a meeting about pardons, and that our names came up. They were working on submitting the paperwork and getting members of the Freedom Caucus to sign on as a show of support. Sir, as a member of the Freedom Caucus, were you approached about this?
I was not. Now, here's what I can say is, when you look at planning, I didn't have anything to do with planning the rally. Now, I know some of the people that you mentioned were active in the rally. They went down and attended the rally on the Mall. And I think that's what the Rolling Stones does. I haven't seen this morning's piece, but I saw some of their earlier reporting. And they conflate the rally that took place at the Mall with the actions that the FBI so far has said they don't believe were coordinated, that there was somehow some coordinated attack on the Capitol. And frankly, to me, it's pejorative to say that it was some kind of insurrection. I mean, the idea that by coming into the Capitol that there was going to somehow overturn the government. I will tell you that Congress was impeded more by Democrats having a sit-in on the floor of the House in the summer of 2016 than it was on the day of January 6th and 7th.
How about the way that they entered the Capitol, sir, and the,
yeah, it was
and the
wrong.
destruction
I mean,
that they did?
Yeah, obviously it's wrong, and I don't think anyone has a problem prosecuting people who were violent and for people who trespassed in the Capitol. But some of these people have been held in solitary confinement for the course of 2021. That's a longer sentence than most people would get for any other similar action. And they're not being given due process. They don't even get a look at the exculpatory evidence. There's just essentially a massive pressure tactic to try to get people to sign plea agreements without even seeing the evidence. So I think the whole effort here goes to trying to divide the country, trying to put all this at the feet of Donald Trump and anyone who would openly support Donald Trump. I'm open to looking at facts, and if Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic leadership in the House and frankly in the country were interested in seeking the truth, this would truly be a bipartisan endeavor. It clearly isn't, and it's not because Republicans aren't willing to look into the truth of what happened on January 6th. It's because they're not willing to participate in something where the entire process is a foregone conclusion, and they're using it as a tool, a cudgel to divide America and advance their agenda.